For me, I think we did have a couple of battles in school and stuff like that, but I think in comparison to other crews and stuff, I think we're a little more calculated. So, I pretty much, in high school, I would watching who I would give a battle to. I'd make sure that, like they was actually good or they had accolades and stuff like that. And if I battled this person, one thing I was known for back then was I could rap a lot of verses for like a long time and just not stop. So I would win a lot. I would win a couple of battles just based on like, out rapping folks. But I was a little more calculated, man. And I would say, let me think. Honestly, in the end of high school, I think when we started going into the studio, that was one of the highlights of my life, man. When we did the song "Strong Island," I know AJ probably already told you all that, man. Like we pretty much got signed for the new school, but then when we came into the studio and did "Strong Island," the sound of it and the feeling that we had, was like, yeah, we got something here. Like, it was like putting envelopes inside of putting a demo inside an envelope for the new school, and then sitting back and just pretty much saying, okay, now we got Strong Island. It's a whole different sound. So the feeling was just different to when we, from when I was in high school. We went to the studio, and I just kind of that was my highlight. And after that, we was pretty much we when we got signed, we had the label gave us the right to do all of our own recording. Did
Yeah,
the
that's
album
what's up.
cover, the credits, and all of that. So creative control. So yeah, so
That's
that was
dope.
probably like the highlight of my life, really being able to come off of Long Island where it was hardly recognized hip hop wise in comparison to the five boroughs, and just being able to be given creative control because I knew a lot of cats that came off of city labels, and the city labels was controlling what it is that they do. But up in Long Island at that time, when we had this thing called sampling and looping and all this stuff, and we was taking them off the soul records, um,
Right.
the city really didn't know where we was coming from with that. They were still playing over break beats, sampling break beats and stuff, but we was coming a whole other way. So yeah, they,
That's what's up.
and then it gave us the experience, man, to be able to say, what, like this is what we want to sound like. And B-Boy Records,
Right.
B-Boy Records turned around and accepted everything we did. So that pretty much also put us in a place to where we were like, well, this is how we want to sound in the street, and this, that, and the third, and this was the kind of album we want to make. And when we went to do the Forcefield album, situation was a little bit different. The label became more involved, and you could see from when we did the Doing Damage album,